everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I am flipping through my very first bullet journal with you. I've been kind of nervous about this because going through my first bullet journal was such a huge learning curve for me, and I'm like slightly embarrassed about some of the ways it turned out, I guess you could say. But you know what? That's totally fine. Everyone's bullet journal is different and unique to the person who it belongs to. So it's okay if there are some mess ups in mine. And anyway, we can just jump right in. So this is just some washi tape from Walmart that I got. Pretty inexpensive. I think I added it right at the very end of my bullet journal. So we'll just flip it open. So here's the very front page with my name and contact information in case it got lost. And then my index, which is not very exciting, you know, it's just an index. And then here's my key, and I was really trying at the beginning to use the same key that is on the official bullet journal website, but eventually I just kind of did my own thing. And I also added some abbreviations here. So I also added some abbreviations here, specifically for the days of the week, because for Thursday and Saturday, I do R and Z. Those are just the letters I've always used. So that way it wouldn't be confusing. In case I forgot or something, or in case anyone is reading it in the future, like my kids or something like that. So next is my year at a glance, and this is just like the whole year. And I added the week numbers also, so that when I was creating my weeklies, I could just flip here and see what week it was, what week number it was. And then after this, I have all of like the birthdays and holidays and all that. And I realized that this was kind of redundant because I had all this right here, but then I also had it across these two pages. And so that's one thing that I changed in my current bullet journal is I just have all of these, the entire year on one page instead of having a separate year at a glance, a log with like all of the birthdays and holidays and whatnot. So there's the other page. And then this is just my weight loss goal for 2017. And then I had a list for movies and shows that I wanted to watch. And then I had books and magazines I wanted to read, and then page ideas. And then I have the next pages clipped together because it's private. I had a page for future projects and like crochet projects and future activities, like things I wanted to do with my husband or places we wanted to go. And then we had a vehicle log and a page for like packages we were waiting on. And then a note to self for just like random notes for things I didn't really know where to put it, but I wanted it in my bullet journal still. My weekly, monthly, and seasonal cleaning logs, and sometimes I was really good at keeping track of these and other times not so much. And then I had a page for my favorite things, where I could just write whatever I wanted that was my absolute favorite thing. And I liked this because then if I go back and look at this bullet journal, I can see like, oh, my favorite colors were purple / lavender and teal, or because those favorites change over time sometimes, and I don't know, I just thought it was a fun thing to add. And then this is my pages used, because I wanted to see like physically like the pages that I was using up as I used my bullet journal up. Then next are all the restaurants that I went to, and it was kind of set up like a bar graph. I ran out of space, and so I just started these other ones at like the 10 and 20 line. And then this was a countdown for, I think we were counting down for when some people were coming to visit us, and then this is when we were moving, so we're moving next year, and I wanted to count down for it. And then this is an overall schedule for what my husband's schedule was going to look like, and mine. Most of it is all his, because I was working from home and I'm an online student. So mostly this was just for me to know where my husband was and just like our overall schedule for church and work and school and all that. The next was January, and I actually bought this bullet journal in February, but so I guess I kind of did January to kind of like test out a couple spreads. So here I just like wrote down what happened during that month, and then like my task list, and then a health tracker and my weight for that month, and then some of the media that I watched or read during January, and then a show tracker for The Office. My husband and I love that show. We've watched it through 2 or 3 times now. I can't remember. And then February, this is when I actually started into the bullet journal and using it every day, and it was actually applicable to the now. So I wrote all my events on this side, and then the tasks and notes on this side. And then I had a health tracker and my habit tracker. In February, I added a gratitude log, so I think I officially started on the 10th. And then after that, it was just every day. And then my weight, and then some symptom trackers for my migraines and whatnot. And then this was my very first mood mandala, which I got the idea from Boho Berry, and I cannot remember who she got the idea from off the top of my head. But that's where I got it from originally. And I just had my Crayola twistable colored pencils, so super fancy. I didn't have any fancy pens or markers at this point, obviously. And then this is my very first weekly, so I was kind of playing around with like actually using the key, and I had like my events and my I also wrote down like things that happened that day, and then I actually wrote down a lot of that same stuff in my journal. So I don't think in this journal, but my next one, I figured out a way to fix that, so it wasn't like I was writing the same thing over and over again every day. And then this is the media for the month, and my husband appreciation page. And then these were like all the shows that I was kind of in the middle of or wanting to watch. Which this was kind of a waste of space, because there's no way I could have watched all of these shows in the span of how long I had this journal. But you know what? It's okay, because I was just learning. Here's another weekly, and some more journaled pages, and here is a wish list, and then more books and magazines to read. And then this is a crochet project that I was working on. I was making a temperature blanket, and then I wanted to make a pillow with it with all the same colors and stuff. And so this was like what the pillow was going to look like. And this is where I wrote down all the temperatures and what color I needed to use for that day. So, and obviously I only got partway through, so the rest of these pages were just left unused. Then this was my tracker for scripture study, and then more journaling pages. Oh, and here's more TV shows that I was into, more journaling pages, more journaling pages, and then another weekly. And you can see that this is when it starts getting really colorful. More journaling pages, and then this was the day that I got my first set of Stettler Tri Plus fine liners, and I was super excited because I finally was going to have color in my journal. And then here's some recipes that I wanted to make. More journaling pages. The reason why I started bullet journaling was because I really miss journaling, so a lot of it really is just journaling pages. Here's another weekly, and then here's a page of like doodles that I was trying out, and I remember I was so proud of this wreath because I thought it turned out so cute. And this little whale, and this rose, and this paper airplane. I was just really proud of myself. More journaling pages. Okay, and then here's March, and you can tell it's very colorful. Habit tracker, husband appreciation page, another symptom tracker or health tracker, and my weight, gratitude, media, mood log. So I had a little pineapple, which I was really excited about. And I remember, I think partway through the month, I got really behind. And so I just started filling in all the sections with my tombos that I got later that month. Then here's a symptom tracker, more journaling pages. And then at this point, I was starting to get ideas for what I wanted to do for my next bullet journal, which is my current bullet journal. So I started like keeping a list of all those things in there. Then here I started playing with the Calendex system, which I started it kind of late in my bullet journal, so maybe it wasn't as effective, but it was a little bit annoying to, you know, be on like your monthly page and then have to come here, then go, oh, we're on page 122, then flip there, then see what it was, then go back and write it in, then go back, rinse and repeat. So it wasn't exactly for me, but I am glad I was able to try it out and see, you know, see if I liked it. And here are just some future events for the Calendex and some journaling pages. And here's another weekly. I had a bunch of stickers I need to get rid of. Do you like the dog stickers, by the way? Throughout, I just had all these stickers that I needed to get rid of, so I was starting to just stick them in here at random intervals. Here's another weekly. More journaling pages. More journaling pages. And then at this point, I was watching a lot of Property Brothers and Love It or List It on HGTV, and so I was like all about writing down the things that I wanted for my house someday. Another journaling page and a weekly page. More journaling pages. I love how colorful this is. And then this was a page for the next time we went to go visit my family. And then this was, so I was planning on doing the KonMari method, and I was planning on getting rid of a lot of stuff and selling it, so I was going to use this to like write down the things we were selling and how much we sold it for and like adding it up at the end. But unfortunately, a lot of that stuff ended up just going to the thrift store because the town where I live, I just wasn't able to sell anything, but that's okay. More journaling pages, another weekly, more journaling pages. And then here are my notes for the general women's meeting. And then some games for a bridal shower that I went to. More journaling pages. And then this weekly was a mess and a half. I was kind of playing around with a time tracker, but I also had my events in here, and also, you know, I wrote down what happened each day and my to-dos, and it was just never again. More journaling pages. And then another weekly. And then April starts. So I really liked this layout because the top half was just all the events and then the bottom half was all my to-dos. And I really liked it. I might try it again in my current journal now that I've brought a running to-do list back. We'll see. My husband appreciation page. At this point, like, I was really trying to just write one thing every day. And then habit tracker. And then self-care tracker. This is the first month that I added this. This is the first time I added a time tracker as well, and I got this idea from Boho Berry also. And then my weight, and my health tracker, and my pain tracker. And then this was my very first mood mandala that I used my Tombow dual brush pens for. And I remember I was just so proud of myself at the end of the month because I had created this beautiful design, and I just felt like, okay, it's only gonna go down from here because I'm just peaking right here. Just kidding. But I was just really proud of myself for creating this. And here is the gratitude log for that month. And then media. And then another waiting on page because the last one got filled out, and some journaling pages. And then here are some journals for general conference. I remember I had a lot of notes this time around. And it goes on for a while. Had a doodle of Salt Lake Temple where my husband and I got married. And then another doodle to help me stay awake. More notes. And then back into my journaling pages. Here is a list of things that my husband and I wanted to do when his parents came into town. And then more journaling pages. We went to Seattle, obviously. And then some tickets for a concert that we went to. More journaling pages. I love how colorful this is. I've always used lots of color in my journals growing up. Another weekly page, and then here I was kind of playing with a running to-do list, but again, I started it really late in the journal, so I really did not use it that much. And then this is another like overall schedule, but it was a lot more simple because my husband and I were not in school at this time. So it's basically just my husband's work schedule and church. More journaling pages, and then here's another weekly. It was really simple. And then May, and then this is the month where I think around the 13th is the last day, so it cuts off in the middle, but that's okay. So here's my running to-do list, and then husband appreciation page, and my habit tracker, and the self-care tracker and the time tracker, weight and health trackers. And then my mood tracker was very, very simple because I didn't know how long it was going to last me, so I didn't want to like start another mandala or something and then have it, you know, only half finished because I had to start a new journal partway through the month. So there's that, and then my gratitude log, and media, and then I believe the rest of these, oh, here's a vehicle log. Oh, and then here is when I started thinking of ideas for YouTube videos. I actually started my channel here, but I did not post my first video until August because I was just so nervous and I kept putting it off. That's where I wrote down some of my ideas at the beginning. And here's a picture of the temple my husband and I went to an open house for. And then journaling pages. And then I was trying out a meal prep page here. And then another weekly log. And I got this idea from my sister, and it's still pretty much the layout that I use when I'm not in school. And at this point I was just writing down like all the things that were happening and then just writing like a short summary on the next page. Notes for a video that I filmed but never posted. And then more journaling pages. And I think that is it until my pen test page. So and that is it. So this journal lasted me from January 2017 to May 2017. So which is still a long time, but one thing I wanted to fix in my next bullet journal was to like save on space, because I felt like there was just like so much space wasted. Like the future activities, future projects, books and magazines to read, TV shows to watch. I ended up tracking a lot of those things in various apps, and then things such as like page ideas and future projects, future activities. I got another journal to put just my collections in, just so I didn't have to write them in every single time I started a new bullet journal. And my current bullet journal is lasting me about 6 months, so not too much longer, but I still feel like I've gotten a lot more use out of it compared to this one. Which, by the way, it's my current bullet journal. I only have about 10, so I only have about 40 pages left. So you may see another bullet journal flip through video In the near future, I'm trying to decide if I want to space it out a bit since I'm just now doing this one, but I don't know, we'll see. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. If you have any questions, feel free to comment them down below and I will do my best to answer them. Also, if you have any video requests, feel free to comment. Feel free to subscribe if you'd like to see more videos. I come out with a video every single week. And thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!